Hello, we're doing Chapter 6, Section 6, the guided practice problems on page 424. We're going to do problems 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now in these problems we're going to graph them by hand. In the next video I'm going to show you how to do them with Desmos. So I need to make kind of a statement here. Whether you use Desmos, which is going to be easy, or whether you draw it by hand, which requires more work, completely 100% depends, move that down, on what the directions say. So for the assessments about what you're supposed to be doing, we're going to, I will have the directions be clear about this. So when you do these problems, I'd like for you to try to draw them by hand. Now there's a drawback to that. You probably don't have graph paper. Notice that I made a grid for all these. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just do your best, right? Try to draw yourself a nice grid and then try to do your best with that. If nothing else, this is what I need for all of this. Decide where the boundary line is, decide if it's above, dash or solid, and then decide if you shade above or below it. So here's what we're going to do. The boundary line for the first one is going to be y equals 2x subtract 1. My y-intercept is -1, my slope is 2. I can draw that line. You can too. Since it's less than without the or equal part, on the next page we're going to have that. But all these right here are going to be dashed. And we'll decide if it's going to be above or below it by picking some points. So let's draw my dashed line. My y-intercept is -1 and my slope is 2. So that goes here, 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 like that. And I'm going to draw my dashed line through those points. Do I shade above or below it? Let's try 0, 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 1 is -1. Is 0 less than -1? No, it's not. 0 is more than -1. So let's try something on the other side. Let's try 0, -2. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 subtract 1 is -1. Is -2 less than -1? Yes, it is. So I'm going to shade below. And that's going to look like this. For the other inequality, my boundary line is y equals 2. It is still going to be a dashed line. Now how do I draw y equals 2? That tells me that my y-intercept is 2, but my slope is 0. That's a horizontal line. Put some more dashes in there. And do I shade above or below it? I want the y values that are greater than 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, those are all going to be greater than 2. So I'm going to shade above. And it's this area right here that shows the overlap. Okay, now I'm going to do this for this problem. I'll draw the rest of them by hand. Went to sleep on me. 8, 6, 9. Can't tell you that code. Alright, so here's another iPad. I'm using an iPad to record an iPad. This is my wife's iPad. And I'm going to put both of these in here. So I'm going to move it to where you can see it. So on the iPad, on the Desmos, I'm using Desmos. I'm going to do, where's my styles? There it is. I'm going to do y is less than, that's right there, 2x subtract 1. Now let's compare that to what I drew. Except this one, let me change this to green. That way it'll match up. There you go. Go away. So let's compare that with what I drew. Okay? So dash line below. See, Desmos even does a dash line. Dash line below. Let's go back. Let's put the other one in. Y is greater than 2, so I'm going to do y is greater than 2, and let's change that one to red. Oops. So then it matches up with what I did. So this looks like what I drew, and this area right here is this, I don't know, brownish color, ugly looking color. That's going to be the overlap. So you can use Desmos as a way to check it, but you'll have to draw it by hand if the directions say draw it by hand. For the homework and the worksheet, you're going to have to draw it by hand. And there will be some problems on the summative that you'll have to draw by hand. Let's do problem number 6. My boundary line is y equals 3. Y equals 3 is a horizontal line with slope 0 through the y-intercept 3. It is dashed, so it's going to look like this. And I want, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I did the wrong thing. I can't erase it, so we're going to have to pretend that you didn't see this. It's actually x equals 3. When x equals 3, it's actually this one. Now I'm going to not start the video over again because I want you to see that sometimes even I make mistakes, right? So we're going to pretend this, so we're going to put oops right there, right? So we're going to pretend that that's not there. I want x values that are smaller than 3. Here's my x's that are smaller than 3, so I'm going to shade this way. And because it's a vertical boundary line, I actually shade it to the left. That's the only time that we don't talk about above or below. For the second one, I got y equals x subtract 2. And I'm going to do it with a dashed line. So my y-intercept is -2, which is right here. And my slope is 1. So that's going to take me there, there, and there. So I'm going to go like this. And I got to go the other direction too. Do I shade above or below it? We can pick some points. Let's pick 0, 0. Is 0 greater than 0 subtract 2? Yes, it is. So I'm going to shade above this one. Let's go to the other side and just check. Let's try 0, -4. Is -4 greater than -2? No, it's not. So I'm going to shade above it, and it's going to look like that. And this area right in here, that's going to be the overlap. So that'll be the solution. And also the directions say give 2 ordered pairs that are the solutions and 2 that are not solutions. Just pick 2 points. Pick 2 points that are in the overlap, pick 2 points that are anywhere else. I'm just not going to waste any video time doing that because we're talking about how to draw it. Alright, number 7. The boundary line is y, for the first one, the boundary line is y equals 3x. That means my y-intercept is 0. I'm not going to be able to pick that for my testing point because it's going to be on the boundary line. Dang. Because it's or equal to, that is a solid line. So my slope is 3. I go 1, 2, 3, right 1, 1, 2, 3, right 1. And a solid line is going to look like that. I also go down 3 and to the left, so my solid line goes this way too. And I can't pick 0, 0, so I'm going to pick 1, 0. X equals 1, y equals 0. Is 0 greater than 3 times 1? No, it's not. Let's try 0, 1 right here, where x equals 0, but y equals 1. Is 1 greater than 3 times 0? Yes, it is. So I'm going to shade above. This one is in standard form. So my boundary line in standard form is 3x plus y equals 3. I can graph this using the intercepts. If I let y equal 0, which is where the x-axis is, divide by 3, I get x equals 1, which is right here. And if I let x equal 0, on the y-axis, I get y equals 3. So my line is going to go between these two and beyond. Because it's greater than or equal to, I'm going to draw it as a solid line. You know it's going to go that way and that way. It's what you do when you draw it without a ruler. Now, let's do my old friend 0, 0. 3 times 0 is plus 0. Is 0 greater than 3? No, it's not. So let's try something on the other side. Let's try 3, 0. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 0 is 9. Is 9 greater than 3? Yes. So I'm going to shade this one above. And it looks like this. So here's where neither of them work. Here's where the first one works. Here's where the second one works. And this area right here is where both of them work. And I will do this one with Desmos again, just so that you can see it. So let me back up this one. Y, and I'll put this in the screen so you can see it. So I got Y is greater than or equal to, that's this right here, 3x, and then move it over so you can see it. This one, let's back it up, 3x plus y is greater than or equal to 3. So my graph here, and I can see more of it with Desmos. This is one of the advantages. That looks like that. And this area up here on the top with both of them, that's the overlap. Desmos does a nice job of shading the whole thing in. I don't want you to color in your graph. Just draw the line shading that I'm doing. Okay? But you can see where the overlap is. Neither of them work here. Only the green one works here. Only the red one works here. And this ugly brown color, that's where both of them work. All right, let's do one more. The boundary line is going to be 2x subtract 4y equals 8. It's going to be solid. And we'll decide if it's shaded above or below it. I'm going to do my intercept method, so I'm going to let y equals 0, and I get x equals 8 divided by 2, which is 4. X equals 4 right here. I'm going to let x equals 0, and I get 8 divided by negative 4, which is negative 2. Y equals negative 2 is right here. I already decided it's solid. So my solid line looks like this. And I have to decide if I'm going to be above or below it. Let's pick 0, 0. 2 times 0, 4 times 0, 0 subtract 0 equals 0. Is 0 less than 8? Yes. So I'm going to be below. And I can test one of the other points on the other side. It doesn't matter which one you do. Let's try x equals 5 and y equals 0. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 subtract 0 is 10. Is 10 less than 8? No, it's not. So I'm going to shade above. For the other line, for the other inequality with the boundary line is y equals x subtract 2. It's going to be dashed. My y-intercept is negative 2, just like this one. My slope is going to be 1, so it's going to go up 1 space, right 1 space. And it's going to keep doing that like this. And it's also going to go in the other direction. But I want to draw it with a dash line, so I'm going to put my dashes in here like so. Now I have to decide, am I going to shade above or below it? Let's go back to 0, 0. Is 0 greater than 0 subtract 2? Is 0 greater than negative 2? Yes. And since 0, 0 is above it, I'm going to shade above. Let's try something on the other side. Let's try 0, negative 4. Is negative 4 greater than 0 subtract 2? Is negative 4 greater than negative 2? No. So I'm going to shade above. And the above, I'm going to kind of draw it kind of at a different angle here, so it doesn't look exactly the same. So here's where neither of them work. Here's where just the green one, the first inequality, works. Here's where just the red one works, and this area right here is where both of them work. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.